Howdy, folks. What's up? What's going on?
Hi, y'all.
Damn, brother. What's up?
How's everybody doing out there, boss? We're getting high tech.
That was the first time I'd really heard the reworking of that again.
It's the reimagined
version.
The reimagining of the theme.
Thanks to
I thought it sounded good, man.
$5 and $40. I got that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can check Fiverr out, Uncle Bill, because you can, if you need anything done, like a logo, whatever, you can take care of it there. They'll do. There's even puppet people that, what do they call them, ventriloquists that'll make little commercials for you.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So I was
thinking, fucking Jeff Dunham making me no commercials.
I'm a cheap ass, but they had the videos on there. It's like previews, right? So I'm thinking I could rip the video and just make up shit to say for the puppet and use that. Make my own puppet commercial.
That's crazy.
I've never even been on that site, man.
You need to check it out. You can get anything you can think of. And it's kind of cheap too. Like I said, that song was like $40 to get it redone. So instead of me trying to hook everything up and fool with it. So yeah, he did a pretty good job. I had a couple of revisions. I'm kind of picky about that sort of thing, but
yeah, I like the fact that he sounded like he was using like a semi-hollow body guitar to play it, which is kind of what I would do if I was going to do it on electric. You know, gives it that twang. Well, maybe he's just using a pedal that stimulates that, but whatever. Still,
I found a couple stuff. Like I was looking this weekend, I didn't really do anything, and I was looking through and found like some other stuff. Like there's a guy that did a cover of Dead Pit on the Road as well. So we might actually, if we end up doing Dead Pit on the Road for Halloween kills, we might figure out a way to use that or something.
Wow. Hell yeah.
So, what's going on? Uncle Bill is here as a surprise. He didn't join us for the last, we did the year one, about 3 weeks ago? Maybe about a month ago, Garrett?
It's probably almost a month, yep.
So basically what this is, it's kind of just a rapid fire, kind of talk about the movies quick as they released them. And it's amazing how many different movies they come out with in the first couple of years, Scream Factory. It's unreal. It broke Garrett up, I'm sure, because you bought all of them, didn't you?
Yeah, not good. I was going through it today when I was like getting them all ready, and I'm like, shit, I do have every one of these.
What's funny though is I think this is the year I bought the most stuff too from Scream Factory, because I've got almost all of these too. Like I was going through it, like getting ready and everything, and yeah, we must have really got into them around this time. Cause
yeah, this is, and I'm curious to see if like year 3 is the same way. Like I scrolled through a little bit and I was like, oh yeah, I have all this, but I'm wondering if there's a couple maybe I passed up on back in year 3. Year 3 actually, I looked really quick at some of it, and it's there's some heavy hitters in that one too. And this is going to be an interesting year. I think that this is a real good follow up. I think there's some really big bangers in this one, but then there's a lot too that they have a lot of fanfare, but I'm like, I don't remember a lot of these. Like, if you ask me, like, what it's about, like, I had a tough time remembering a lot of these ones.
Yeah, I did too, actually. I went back and tried to watch a few trailers on some of these movies, just to kind of refresh my memory, because some of these, I don't know if I've ever seen. Obviously, I didn't buy them. So, but yeah, we'll go through them. Also, Greg Caldwell had a funny comment here, and this is true, really, that he thought that Scream Factory blew their wad in the first couple of years. That's probably true. Actually, after probably year 3, I think year 3 was really solid. It kind of, and we'll talk about that as the shows go on, but it did kind of go downhill, after 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it was it's tough because you look at it and you're like, you wonder if it was smart or them or not, because now the way things are, and I know you couldn't predict like what's going on now, but for them to score all these titles, to themselves is pretty impressive, because like they had almost, everything under their umbrella at some point. You know, there are some that they never got, like Reanimator, where, you know, another big, you know, movie, and you're kind of just surprised they never grabbed it. But some of these titles too, you're thinking of yourself like, man, it's just crazy that they were able to get all these out under their label.
I really agree with that too. They had pretty much cornered the market on everything at this point in time. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think, you know, this was before a lot of these other companies like Vinegar Syndrome got really, really popular. And it was mostly them and like the big name, you know, studios that were releasing the majority of this stuff at that time. I mean, you still had like Synapse and you still had Blue Underground and stuff like that, but they were by far the first couple of years, the first 3 or 4 years, releasing the most stuff of anybody. And like at that time, we thought, oh God, this is going to be amazing. Like they're going to be the saviors of, you know, physical media. And then I don't know what the hell happened. Like after that,
well, the thing is, because they had everything and they were able to grab it right away, maybe they just figured, all right, let's see if this is going to last. Let's just put out whatever we can. But you know, it gets to a point where, like, you know, what else is left? Like, you know what I mean? So that's where I think that they ran into a problem is like, what else do you do? They released everything. Like, what else can you possibly do? And then you had other people like Arrow, like, kind of catching up and them getting titles and stuff. And I'm sure they didn't want to release all the titles Arrow was, you know, it got crazy, you know, even just looking through some of this and you're like, man, it's getting nuts already, you know?
Oh, apparently you re-release everything with enamel pin sets. That's what you do.
Yeah, we've talked about that quite a bit. I don't have you made up your mind, Garrett, on exactly which ones you're going to be getting as far as the new
God.
4Ks?
So
he already did it. He already did it.
No. I swear to God, I didn't. I swear to you. So I filled my car actually right after you guys did the show on Region Free. I just filled my car because I wanted to see like how much this was going to run me, because I added like Alone in the Dark in there. And I even added like House of Wax just to kind of see like what, you know, this was going to, man, it was crazy. And I was like, nah, I can't spend this money on this. So then I narrowed it down to 2 and 3 and Alone in the Dark. And I even took House of Wax out of there. And even with just those 3, I was already like well above $100. And then, you know, it still kind of dawned on me like, fuck, like I'm $100 in already and I've only got 3 titles here. Like, those are $40 a piece. I mean, that's already bringing me to like $80. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. So I just clicked off of it. Like, I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. And I do want Halloween 2 and 3. I just actually put up my steelbooks on eBay thinking like they're still sealed. Like, let me see if I can get the money to pay for these other ones. And then I'll pull the trigger on it. Like, can I afford it? Sure, I can. It's just the principle. It's like, I'm going to buy 2 movies that I have freaking multiple times for $80, you know? That was kind of my thinking. So, no, I haven't pulled the trigger yet. How about you guys? Have you guys yet?
No, I haven't.
I thought about, like, I really thought about, all right, because I never do this. I don't think I've ever done it, come to think of it, of just buying the whole set for $300, $350, whatever it would be, and trying to sell back the stuff on eBay. But I just I can't. It's just too much of a hassle. Plus, just the idea of doing that, there's just something that doesn't sit right with me.
I thought about that too, actually. And then I put it in my cart and everything. And of course, the Kentucky state sales tax was like $18 added on to that. So I was like, okay, even if I can sell those pins for what would be the max? Maybe $100. Maybe.
I think that's maybe, yeah.
Maybe $100. I don't see those posters ever going for much because I know that we've harked on this for a while.
Oh, God.
Poor old Joe Robinson. I do feel bad, but nobody's going to pay that much money for any of those posters. Maybe part 3. Maybe. So if you were to get $50 for all those posters, that's still less than half of what you're paying, right? And eBay's taking 25% of that shit. So I just didn't want to fool with it. I mean, for me, like, I'm going to wait and see if there's any sort of deals before these come out they're coming out in late September, is that right? Or is it early October? I can't even...
I think it's September. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. October's when they're going to release the box set, so...
I'm still thinking that
Probably. I swear to God, that's probably what'll happen.
Suckers.
Still thinking we may see these in some stores, and they may be a little bit cheaper than what you're seeing online. So I'll wait and see.
Here's what I don't understand is at this point I understand, like, I even had that thought too, like, okay, I'll get everything, I'll sell everything off, it'll pay for what I want, but like spending like $300 and something, like, in hopes that you're going to gain some money back, like, I didn't want to go that route because I have enough shit I'm sitting on, like, that I want to just sell that was mine already. Same. Like, I don't need to keep adding more stuff to like this room that I'm trying to clear out to make space to like add more stuff in there. And at this point you're wondering, like, who wants these posters and shit that aren't going to just go get it? Like, who's waiting that want these? And they're like, I'll buy them when they get on eBay. Like, I can understand, like, the old stuff. Like, a lot of these titles we're talking about now, like, I could sell some of these posters relatively expensive because people weren't on top of things like they are now and really understanding, like, that when these are gone, they're gone. So, to me, it's like, who... You could probably sell them, but who at this point, like, is the market even that big for resale on these things? Because why aren't they just buying them straight up at this point? They all know the way it works, Yeah,
Halloween's just one of those things too where there's so many people that have their eyes on that you will never really be able to, I don't think, make a huge profit off that based on people who wouldn't have got it, like, just right now. Plus, they've given people like 15 different ways to buy them damn things too, so it's like, whoever wants whatever's going to get them.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, there's always going to be people that didn't get it at the time of. I don't know why, because I think there was somebody that posted on the region free video that they're getting all of them because they missed the box set. Maybe they didn't have the money at the time or what. The box set wasn't really available that long, I don't think.
No.
Right. Like, but that's different. Like, if someone doesn't have these, like, good editions of these, like, I'm fine. Go for it. But, like we talked about before, I have, for Halloween 2 and 3, I've already have 3 editions through just Scream Factory alone that to buy a 4th version of this thing, it just kind of irks me a little bit. Like, and I understand the 4K is what's really pulling me in, but there's not enough meat on the bone. And Piz was doing a stream, I think, last night, on the Scream Factory site, like, filling his card up, thinking, like, he was kind of going through the same thing. He didn't buy anything, but I messaged him in there because he was talking about the soundtracks. I'm like, do you guys realize that these soundtracks have 2 songs on them each? That is it.
I think
that's a soundtrack. It's the main theme of the movie, and then there's like a different version, like, on the other side. It's a 7-inch. It's a small little record with a single song per side.
Yeah.
Like it's single. And the thing is that I hope people don't think this is like the full-on soundtrack, because it's not, and they're going to be sadly, mistaken when they get this thing in the mail and it's like this big. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people realize that, because he didn't realize it. He's like, wait, this isn't the full soundtrack? And I'm like, no. And he looked it up. He's like, oh wow, it isn't. Like, so I don't know if people are not looking at that.
Yeah, I would be willing to guess that they're not. They're just thinking, oh, it's the vinyl soundtrack that I'm getting with it, because it is it's like $25 more than just the standard edition or whatever. Or is there, how many different sets are there? Or is there just the 2?
There's 3. There's like just you mean set wise, or just like the whole thing? You can buy them individually. You can buy them in the $245 one, or you can buy the $299 one.
Okay, so if you're buying them individually, you're paying $25 more to get the records per movie, right? Mm-hmm. So they're probably thinking, just judging by the price, hey, it's $25 more, for sure it's the whole soundtrack. But no, it's just some fancy fucking box with 2 songs.
Honestly, if anybody's buying that, the soundtrack thing, they're buying it to resell it. Like, that has to be it. Because I'm sure there's a small percentage of people, like 20% or something, that would keep those. But even with the shit that I have, I don't think I would keep that. Like, I don't know what you would do with it. You're going to go sit there and listen to it.
Already.
Listen to one song over and over again.
Over and over again on your record player.
And I would say most of the 7-inch singles that you purchase, like if you get one at Record Store Day, that's a special one, right? It's more than the normal. If you're buying one normally, it's like $8, right? Record store day one, $12. They're never any more than that when you buy them new. But of course, Scream Factory has a fucking exclusive little, box that it comes in that jacks the price up more. But it is what it is. We'll see. I mean, they say that they're 60% sold out of those record sets. So evidently people are buying them. So
look, they can be 80, 85, 90% sold out. Like, this is one that I'm totally going to wait. Like, I've just made up my mind. I'm not going to do it. I don't give a damn. Like, in the past, I probably would have caved on something like this, but I'm just not going to spend $350 or $300 or whatever on all this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably buy I'm noticing most people are saying they're interested in part 3. I'm interested in 2 and 3. I don't think the other ones are really going to even look that good, but I'm gonna hold out and wait because I'm not going to watch any of those movies until sometime in October anyway. Yeah. So I'm fine waiting it out to see how low it'll go in price. Don't give one single fuck about those posters, so that doesn't matter to me at all.
I'll be honest with you too about the whole thing. Like, I'm more interested now in like obscure movies that I haven't seen than I am in like movies that I've seen a million times, and that I would normally only watch around Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, it's a lot more fun to discover these movies and stuff for the first time. Like, first time I watched Berserker, it was just a magical moment, Uncle Bill.
I mean, isn't it though? Seriously, like, you can never relive watching Madman for the first time or Berserker or, Slaughterhouse. Like, there's just something about them when you first see something like that that's, I don't know. It's a lot better than watching something for the 50th time that you've seen.
So, I mean, this show, though, we're going to get in. We did the first year of Scream Factory about a month ago. So this is part 2. And we're starting with, I think the one we ended on last time was Day of the Dead, which was the killer edition. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be another running theme with most of these editions. The artwork was done by Nathan Thomas Milner, who Scream Factory no longer uses, and we talked about that last time. Do you have any insight into that, Uncle Bill, on why that may be? Because a lot of these artworks, and I pulled a few of them here, are freaking awesome. And he is, and we saw those Halloween ones, and they're not so awesome.
I'm gonna guess. I mean, I don't know, and this is something we should probably ask Sleepy or somebody like that. I'm going to guess it's probably due to time and, like, budget reasons. That's because I can't imagine Nathan Thomas Milner pissed him off. Like, he was just like, fuck you. I don't want to do your shit no more. I got to imagine it's probably just that, because I would say when he does something, it probably takes a considerable amount of time, and he probably doesn't just, crap something out there.
Somebody else is bringing up the Ronnie Millsap quality control at Scream Factory. John Crescent. So, we're going to go ahead and get started, though. The first one up in the second year, I've got them here by order, by God. What in the hell was that, a mousetrap?
That's my... That's my fucking...
His foot's like stuck in a mousetrap. He's like, oh.
That'd be killer if you could hear a little mouse screaming.
That's my can, dude. That's my can. Okay. God damn.
So
a mouse trap.
That's what it sounded like. I thought a little mouse just got. The first one up for the second year, though, it's a good one. They started with a good one. September the 23rd, 2013. John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. Killer song, killer movie.
I love this movie. Love it. I even bought the 4K. I bought the 4K of this one. Super underrated in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think of it, but the one thing about this that just totally hooked me when I first saw it was that little like theme or score that at the beginning of that movie that pretty much lasts for like 15 minutes in the background, and then you're sitting there and you're like, dude, how killer is that this like little score sound like lasts like the first. It's a 15 minutes throughout the beginning of the movie, just kind of leading up to everything. It's so killer, man. Like I just love this movie, and I feel like it doesn't get enough praise, really. In my opinion.
There's two movies that he did that I feel like are really underrated. That's one of them, and In the Mouth of Madness is the other.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yes,
because I mean, I think he was like making these movies on a level that a lot of people didn't understand what he was doing at the time. Mm-hmm. But if you go and watch, like, there was one, I can't remember what the channel was on YouTube, where I watched a guy kind of deconstruct, like, everything behind In the Mouth of Madness and, like, what it was actually about. And, man, like, it's truly brilliant, like, the shit he was doing. Like, and when you watch it, there's no way you can pick up on all the stuff that was going on in those movies. And, like, you know, what he was putting in those movies at the time. And I think it went over, like, a lot of people said, a lot of people that love, like, Halloween and The Fog, where it's just straight up slasher film, like, they watch that and they just, all that kind of goes over their heads, and it just is like, oh, well, this is crazy or something like that. But those movies are amazing. They really are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I'm glad you talked about Mouth of Madness, because I feel like that gets more hate than love in a lot of circles, and I love it. I think it's such a killer movie. And it falls very similar to a vein of this one. I don't know if it was the way it was shot or whatever, but definitely a cool movie. Definitely a good double feature with the Darkness. And
anything in that Apocalypse trilogy is are some of my favorite movies, you know, that he did.
Yeah, and the 4K, how's the 4K of that, Garrett?
4K looks great. You know, again, I talked about this before, and this is another reason why I'm kind of on the fence about this. Blu-ray to 4K is not as big of a difference as like a DVD to Blu-ray is. So what I'm seeing, I'm like, hey, it looks great, but you know, I'd really have to go back and like put the Blu-ray on, then put that on, and like really figure out if, you know, how much different it really looks. Like, to me, it looks great. The Blu-ray looks great too. So, you know, as far as me to say, hey, it's 10 times better than the Blu-ray, I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely a cool movie to have on 4K, just, you know, with the audio and the visuals as well.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that the DVD version of Prince of Darkness was one of the very early DVDs, and it was like a really, really poor transfer and all that. So a lot of people were excited when this one came out. What I can remember most about Prince of Darkness is just there's like a sinister tone throughout the entire movie. I don't know what it is, but nobody nowadays can capture that hardly in a movie. The score and the Alice Cooper song Prince of Darkness is fucking killer. I think it's the credits. That's in the credits of the movie, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a great movie.
There's some really terrifying stuff in that movie too, like the scene where the guy, you know, is outside and he's talking to him on the inside and his head falls off and everything. And then the other scene with, I can't remember the blonde girl's name, when she finally like morphs into the, you know, where all of her face is kind of melted off and it's the red and the patches. Like, whoever did that makeup, like, that is awesome. And it's just like her going through the rest of the movie like that. Like, that movie is genuinely unsettling when you watch it.
Yeah, super cool, definitely. And like you said, the tone is just awesome, and you know, the subtle score that's kind of like building you up, like something big's gonna happen, and it's good. So if you guys haven't checked out Prince of Darkness, please check it.
For sure. So on the same day, September 24th, 2013, Psycho 2 and Psycho 3 would be released. So within, and we were talking about earlier, I think Greg Caldwell mentioned this, about them kind of blowing their load all at once. So within a 2-week period, back in September of 2013, you had Day of the Dead, Prince of Darkness, and Psycho 2 and 3, all within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Also,
those are like your favorite movies, though, or some of your favorite movies, I know.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, Psycho 2 in particular was one of the movies that got me into horror. I mean, it was one of the very first 2 VHS tapes that I rented as a kid back in the day. I can remember it was, and I grabbed it here, fuck it, I'm nostalgic for it. Psycho 2 and Friday the 13th Part 6. So that was a hell of a double feature to get a young 7-8 year old kid started in horror. But Don't you think it's interesting that they chose to go with the original artwork on these ones?
Yeah, especially because there's like not many times that they did that for those collector's editions. And again, I'm just going to show you how crazy my brain works here. Is like I said, collector's editions, I always want to make sure I have the slip, just because that's kind of how it's rolling through. So I don't have the slips here. I do have the slips. They're in a box, but I don't display these with their slips on it because Part 4 does not have a slip. So in order for them to look nice together, I had to take these two off. So it's just a weird way my brain works when it comes to this.
Ron Compostine, I probably mispronounced that, but I'm from East Kentucky, so he says, I remember Psycho 2 and 3, they were not allowed to do new covers for, so maybe that was some sort of deal with
Interesting.
Universal.
Yeah.
And
but
those
to
great.
be honest,
I agree
like,
with Wes.
yeah, I love the original artwork on both of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of that stuff they could just leave it alone. It'll be fine. I mean, those are classic shots.
The Psycho timeline is freaking hilarious, though, really, because, Psycho was 1960, and they didn't touch the movie, they didn't consider it a franchise, really, I guess, until 87, and then they kind of fought over what in the fuck they wanted to do with it, because you had the Bates Motel TV movie and Psycho... Oh, wait. Psycho 2 come out in, like, 82? Right? 82, 83. 83. And Psycho 3 come out in 86, 87. And then the Bates Motel come out that has a separate timeline in like 87. So it was very, very odd. The Bates Motel TV movie is freaking terrible, but I kind of enjoy it too for some reason. Do you guys have any memories on the Psycho franchise after Psycho 1?
I just remember being just blown away by how good Psycho 2 was. Like, and I don't think I saw Psycho 2 until sometime around when we started doing the show. I don't think I'd ever seen it before that time. No, I don't think so. And because I remember watching it and just being like, wow, this is like a really good film, because you wouldn't expect it to be a really good film. Like a sequel to Psycho that had been done like 20-some years like after the fact. But Tom Holland, I mean... It makes sense in a lot of ways, but Psycho 3 maybe not so much, but Psycho 2 was amazing.
Yeah, Psycho 3 is like, you could tell they made it due to the success of Psycho 2. They were like, oh hell, we've got to do another one. We've got to figure it out. And it's fun, but it's not the same. Like, Jeff Fahey's in that one, and that Diana, what the hell's her name? I can't remember. She was in Mommy Dearest. She's in it. But it's okay. Yeah. Diana Scarwin or something like that.
Something like that. I know who you're talking about now, yeah.
And, but yeah, I mean, the sequels, I can live with both of those sequels. Even Psycho 4 later on, I kind of enjoyed that. It's kind of a precursor to what the most recent Bates Motel show was, I guess.
Yeah, I love all the sequels, actually. I saw all the sequels before I saw the original, believe it or not. And I absolutely loved them. I think I saw them on like a Saturday afternoon after Superstars or something like that. They did like a marathon of all three of the sequels. And I loved each and every one of them. And I think it was just super cool that after all that time went by, you had sequels and they included, what's his name there? Jesus. I can tip my tongue. Norman.
Anthony Perkins.
Yeah, Anthony Perkins. Yeah. So the fact that he was still involved, I think it just made it extra special. And I love all three of them, 2 especially. And I do get 2 and 3 mixed up a lot because it has to do with like a young girl that comes in. And what's 3 is the nun, right? That's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I loved all 3 of them, and I used to think that the 4th was even pretty good. As a kid. Is that the one with the radio show and all?
Yeah.
See, I keep forgetting. Like
Mick Garrett directed that one.
That's the one where Olivia Hussey shows up. Baby.
I still remember that scene in church when I was a kid where they were in church and she like grabbed his nuts or whatever. Remember?
Who could forget?
No.
I remember that. It's like the one scene as a kid I was like, what the heck?
The king of mediocre horror sequels, though, Mick Garrett directed that one. That guy, I swear to God, man, one of these days, we got to do a whole show just about the shit he directed. Like Critters 2, Psycho 4, Cat's fucking stuck there.
What the hell you doing?
Oh God.
We actually interviewed the writer, and I think Ken was mentioning him on here, of Psycho 3, Charles Edward Pogue. He's actually from Louisville, one of the years at the Friday Night Film Fest. And I completely forgot about that until he mentioned it. But yeah.
Yeah, he came back for like 1 year. I don't know. He did conventions and stuff, and then he was just gone.
Yeah, we talked to him, and that interview's online if you want to check it out. I'm pretty sure it still is.
You know, there's a couple of people that have done that too. Like the guy from The Shining, Danny from The Shining. He just came back for 1 year and did shows, and then just you never see that guy anymore.
I don't think he much really wanted to do those shows anyway, though, just judging by how he acted. But,
yeah, that's true.
So the next big release was just a week later, continuing to talk about how Scream Factory was blowing their load. The Amityville box set, the Amityville collection trilogy, Amityville 1, Amityville 2, The Possession, and Amityville 3D. And it was also available in, was the 3D in real 3D or was it just standard 3D? I can't even remember at this point.
Blu-ray 3D. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, it was in legit 3D.
Yeah. Like it says here, you need, in order to watch this in 3D, you need all this equipment. 3D HD TV, 3D Blu-ray player, or PS3, 3D glasses. So yeah, pretty cool.
No. I ain't getting all that shit.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can now unless you have.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they even make.
So what you're saying
TVs.
is you didn't buy this and then we'll go out and buy all the stuff it told you needed to have to watch it?
Wouldn't that be killer if somebody did that? Oh fuck! I gotta get all this stuff now.
What's odd is there's so much of that coming out now that you could actually, Friday the 13th 3D was like that. The Silent Madness release. That
anything I've ever tried to watch in 3D, whether it be Blu-ray or DVD, it always looks horrible anyway. Like when you try to watch it home theater style, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, but as far as the Amityville movies, I dig Amityville 2, Amityville 1 and 2. I don't remember Part 3 being very good at all. I think I've only watched it maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I remember
Amityville 1 is one of those movies that I absolutely love, and I feel like it's another one that's very well known, but doesn't get the love it deserves, in my opinion. I love Part 1, and I love Part 2. Part 3, again, I think I've only seen it like a couple times, and I vaguely remember much about it, to be honest with you.
I just remember Part 2 like being one of the just most unsettling movies to watch because it's got Burt Young in it, and he's like turns into a pedophile, basically, like, or maybe not turns into a pedophile, but kind of is a pedophile, and or that's insinuated, I guess. Like it's not actually shown, but it's just so that movie is so just You watch
What's
it. And
the girl in it? What was her name?
Diane Frank.
Yeah,
Diane
from
Frank.
she was in Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted.
Version.
Yeah.
So yeah, the I guess the sequel was a prequel to the original movie, and then after the first three, they kind of just those movies went in a totally different direction. But yeah, the first two's really. I always enjoyed the first two movies. I don't really watch them a whole lot, to be honest with you. But this was this not the very first box set that Scream Factory did?
It was, yep.
Okay. So did they do a limited edition with that one? I can't recall.
There was a poster with this as well. As far as if this box set was limited and then they kind of broke them up into singles, I don't know. But I did have the poster for this at one point, which has been sold. But yeah, I was super excited when this thing came out.
Yeah, I think that was a big release when it came out, for sure. Meg Ryan is in Part 3 as well. I guess we should mention that. I don't remember her in it. But I think I remember Aunt Becky in it, right? Wasn't she in it?
You talking about, what's that? Lori Metcalf?
Yeah,
Lori Long.
Yeah, the ex-con.
Oh, the ex. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm getting the chick from Roseanne mixed up with the chick from Full House. Stay by Lori's. Yeah.
Well, there's another chick from Roseanne that's in this next movie. Garrett, you're hardcore as fuck if you've got this one from 1971. What's the Matter with Helen?
I'll fucking die if he's got that.
So actually, it's a 4-pack.
That's so killer.
You're gonna look. It was a 4-pack that came out, and it only came out on DVD, and then they re-released these suckers on those like limited edition double pack Blu-rays, where there's only 1,000 available, like The Outing and Vagrant and all that stuff.
I've got the one that's got yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they went back and did like a DVD with like a 4-pack because they were already well into Blu-ray, but. Yes, this has What's the Matter with Helen, The Vagrant, Godsend, and Outing.
Cool.
And I don't remember anything about what happened to Helen. I really don't. So
yeah, they all came out the same.
If anybody says it's good, let me know. I'll rewatch it.
Listen, I want a fucking plot summary of What's the Matter with Helen right now. I want to know what goes on in that.
I did watch the...
what's the matter with her?
The trailer.
What is the hell is the matter with her? Like, we need to know.
It's the same woman that played Roseanne's mom on the... What was her name? Winters? Shelley Winters or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
yeah she's she's Helen in it, so she's the one that's... Yep. And then, that box set, the Vagrant, which is kind of like a comedy type deal. Bill Paxton's in that. The Godsend and The Outing, a.k.a. The Lamp, which is coming out...
Oh, baby.
From Vinegar Syndrome, it's the Lamp cut. Okay, so if you haven't seen the extra 5 minutes of The Lamp, or you haven't seen it, you may have seen The Outing, but you have not seen The Lamp.
Well, it's like The Exorcist, the version you've never seen, The Lamp.
Well, you guys make sure to tell me not to buy The Lamp, because the fact that I've got The Outing on DVD over here and Blu-ray from Scream Factory.
Yeah, that's enough.
If I really get to have The Outing 3 times, this is a problem.
Well, the thing is, though, is you do not have it in the Lamp cut. That's the problem.
That's right.
So you need to get it.
Don't tell me that.
And the beautiful soft slip cover that you can just rub up against your face.
Oh!
Like, imagine, like, the other day I watched you guys on Region Free, and they kind of asked around, which movies do you have, like, the most copies of? Imagine it got to me, and I was like, The Outing.
I got the fucking Laserdisc of The Outing and 5 other versions.
Ken Carlson, he mentioned this on here real quick. I did get the Vinegar Syndrome and Amityville set, so that's a killer set that you can. I think you could still get all those individually too. So
yeah, that was an ordeal. Remember?
Yeah. I think a bunch of people tried to get multiple copies of that, and then whenever the site reopened, they put them back on there. So, continuing on though, all that stuff came out October the 8th. October the 22nd, Chilling Visions, 5 Senses of Fear. I have no idea what the hell that was.
God damn it. What?
If you ask me what this is about, I have no idea. I don't even think I've ever watched it.
All right, then. Now listen. There's about like 6 or 7 movies coming up from AIP, and I swear to God, if you got every one of these, there's something fucking wrong with you. I'm just gonna tell you right now. There's like
this one's called My Sucky Teen Romance is in this. So
I did.
Actually, bro, you know what's in this? Yellow Brick Road. It says.
Really? On Blu-ray?
That's what it says.
Huh?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Directed by Jesse Holland. I don't know if that's the same one.
Yeah, I think it is.
But if that's, then I need to get rid of my DVD. I can't have 2 versions of Yellow Brick Road here.
Well, you need to get that in there, CK. Like that's actually something you probably want. I'd say you.
That's a killer movie, actually.
I know it's a good movie. I'm just seeing what else is on here.
I didn't realize it was on Blu-ray though. So, I actually at one time I did have the Vincent Price collection. That's the next one that's up. It has House of Usher, Pit and the Pendulum, The Haunted Palace, The Mask of the Red Death, Witchfinder General, and The Abominable Fibes, whatever. So, yeah, that one was out of print for a while, and I actually sold it on eBay for a whole lot of money. I think close to $200. So, yeah, people were nuts on that. But it went back in print, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna I'm gonna be honest here. I did the exact same thing. So I actually sold my Vincent Price collections as like a big lot at the time when that thing was like on fire. So I actually don't have it anymore. It's long gone, but I got good money for it. I sold all 3 of them.
So we found something that Garrett doesn't have.
He had it though. He just
I had it too.
It's gone.
But I'd rather have $200.
I needed the money to pay for the rest of this.
Listen though, like with all the Vincent Price collections they've been releasing over the years, I'm sure you can get all those movies again.
Yeah, I have them all somewhere on DVD. I have them all, so that's why I was like, whatever, I'll take the money for it.
When is the Spookies live commentary coming? I guess we need to figure that out and do that at some point.
That would be nice, yeah.
Let's get spooky.
Whenever.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Yeah, we were actually, we may have done it this past week, but we were doing the region-free thing, so kind of want to limit my streams to at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
I won't be one of those guys that gets on. I can't do it every night, but yeah. Okay, continuing on. Was this another double feature here, Garrett? Cellar Dweller and Contamination Second. Another is what?
The
4?
Dungeon Master.
Okay.
The Dungeon Master, Cellar Dweller, Contamination, Catacombs. Which again, these are all the ones that already been like they got re-released on like a double pack, which I think I have those too. So yeah. I've got like 2 Dungeon Masters in my collection.
Now this was when they were licensing stuff from Empire Pictures. Like I know that's what that was, because I remember that time period, and they got a bunch of stuff from them. I don't think they got much from them after that, but I definitely remember that.
Good old Cellar Dweller. It's that's got Charles Band's stank all over it. That movie does.
Yep.
The next one though, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little while. It was originally a Showtime original movie, and it seemed like there for a long time nobody knew about it. I know me and Uncle Bill talked about it for a long time before it. It came to, was it on DVD, but it was like very, very difficult to find, out of print or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was. It was very hard to find. I'm trying to think who put it out. Maybe like Artisan or something like that. But it was a tough one to locate, and I'm pretty sure I had it at one point. And I may have gotten rid of it once this came out. But yeah, it was pretty sought after for a while, and it was pretty unknown as well.
Yeah. And
I don't remember where the hell I saw that movie either, but I remember watching it.
I had a VHS tape of it for a long time, and we watched it. I don't know if that was the first time you'd seen it, but we'd watched it together a couple of times back in the day. But it's a movie that's actually directed by Tobe Hooper, and it's presented by John Carpenter, and it has a cameo from Wes Craven. I think Roger Corman is in it. I think there's all kinds of little cameos in it. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but it is Body Bags.
There's something about that movie. Well, I love any anthology movie, but that one in particular was amazing. Just because I think John Carpenter did like a lot better job than I would ever thought he would have as the, what is he, like the mortician? I don't know what his actual, yeah.
Yeah, he's like the spooky, he's a mortician in this. Technically, it's almost like he's the crypt keeper or something, really. I mean, you can definitely tell that's what they're going for with this. But the stories are all a lot of fun. The gas station one with Robert Carradine's really good one. I like the Stacy Keach one quite a bit. With the little hair.
He gets the little hair transplants that are aliens.
Yeah.
No, it's a good one.
I don't know how, it's probably been a long time since we talked about this on the show or anything, but it's one that I definitely highly recommend y'all seek out. Is it out of print now or not? I pulled it out here because the artwork on it is awesome.
Yeah.
I love the artwork.
I don't know if it's out of print, man. I'm not sure, but it is awesome, and it's another one of those movies that it doesn't get talked about enough, especially when it comes to anthologies. I mean, this thing is killer from front to back. you look at Creepshow and it's Creepshow 1, 2, but this falls right in the same vein as that, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of which, Matt wants to know, just off the top of your head real quick, what are y'all's top 3 horror anthology flicks?
God bless. Okay.
And off the
That's a
top of
tough
my
one.
head, I would say Creepshow 1, 2, and Body Bags. But again, if I thought harder about it, I may change my mind. Would you consider Trick or Treat an anthology?
Yeah, Trick or Treat's definitely
Yeah.
an anthology.
I'm going to say, I go with Creepshow. Is probably my favorite. I'm going to go with Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. And then I'm going to go, you got to go with Body Bags in there somewhere.
I would put, if I was doing it, I would do Creepshow 1, 2, and Creepshow 3. No, just kidding.
I fucking, I was going to say.
I would probably do
Yeah.
the original
Who's gonna put that out of
Creepshow.
blue? Who's the one? Who's the one that's going to put that out?
I'm surprised it hasn't been put out, at least like Vinegar Syndrome or one of those companies like that. They could even do a double feature. They could do Creepshow 3 and Day of the Dead 2 Contagion. That'd be a good double feature. It'd make you want to stab your eyes out. Creepshow 1, I would put Trick or Treat up there. I would probably put Creepshow 2 up there too, honestly.
Yeah, I think those 3. Someone said Nightmares, which is another good one.
Nightmares
It
is
is,
a good
yeah.
I think. Oh, I mean, I actually
Trilogy.
like.
You can go
Tales from
Trilogy
the-
of Terror.
one. Yeah, and Black Sabbath
Trilogy of
1,
Terror.
2, and the there's
I
a
do
lot
like,
of them from that time frame.
What's the one that you guys just talked about where the guy died? I do like that one.
Oh, Twilight Zone? The movie?
Yeah. I thought I thought it was all right. Someone said it's something in here. Oh, Mortuary Collection. I keep hearing about that. What is it?
I fucking tried to get CK to watch that. Like, I kind of agree with that, too, because that's a lot
It's
better.
good?
I would have never thought in a million years it would be good, but it's on Shudder. It's got the dude from Highlander, Clancy Brown. It's got him as like the mortician, and just that alone is amazing. And the stories are actually really good too. You kind of have to watch it. It's kind of like
Okay. So you're
friggin'
giving
Body
it.
Bags.
I keep hearing about it, but I needed some good a good source. So if you're telling me it's pretty good, that's at my Walmart. I walk by it like every week at some point. I'm always looking at it. I'm like, so it's there.
I'll put it over I'll put it over just for Clancy Brown's performance in that movie. Like I think it's really good.
Somebody said Cat's Eye, which is another good one. It wouldn't be
Yeah,
my top 3, but I like it.
I always forget that one too. I don't know. It's like
The Offspring's another one. From a Whisper to a Scream or whatever. That's a pretty good underrated one.
when I was a kid, I watched that probably like 100 times. That was one of my favorite horror movies when I was a kid.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, that might be a good idea for a show at some point. Because there's a ton of anthologies that I'm sure we're just not even thinking of. Continuing on, though, we're in November of 2013. Another I still think to this day, it's a very underrated Carpenter movie. And it's got possibly my favorite outside of Halloween theme song that Carpenter ever did. And that is Assault on Precinct 13.
Yep.
And also, there's this scene in there, like where she's got the ice cream cone or whatever. That's like, that's just being mean.
I remember watching an interview with him where he was like, it was probably like 10 years ago. He's like, I probably wouldn't do it now. When I was young at that point, I really didn't give a shit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this it's totally different than what you would think coming from Carpenter, but it's really, really good. It's been a long time since I've seen this, but it's basically like an invasion type movie, really, of the Precinct 13 prison. So
Yeah. It's one of my favorite films just in general, too. Tarantino calls them hangout flicks, where it's just like a group of people hanging out and you get to know like the characters, and then there's some sort of like great evil that they're having to fight. In this case, it's this gang that kind of surrounds the place and trying to take revenge. And it's just a great movie. And the guy who plays, what is his name, Napoleon, I think, in it. Whoever the hell that guy is, I'll never remember his name, but that was like a great performance. Just one-liners, like one right after the other through the whole thing.
And as far as like the Carpenter style, I think it started with this movie because this was 2 years before Halloween, right? So I mean, just the atmosphere along with the music and everything. Carpenter did Dark Star before this, which is totally off the wall. But this was the first real Carpenter movie, I think.
Yeah, this is the one where he first used, I think, the Panavision widescreen thing that he became famous for. So. Yeah, and so this is the one that's like his style, really. It's the first of his style.
So the Blu-ray, I don't really even remember the transfer on the Blu-ray. Do you guys? I know it's kind of a grindhouse type movie, but I don't know how much they cleaned.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I've seen this. I actually didn't get that right away, so I never had the poster for that. I got that like that Christmas that it came out. My wife got it for me because I gave her a list of the Screams that I didn't get yet. So she picked that up for me. But what's funny is that you said that we're still in November. So you're saying everything we've talked about so far was in like less than 2 months.
Yeah, late September to early November is where we're at.
Okay.
God. Yeah.
I was definitely broke then.
The next one's kind of a weird one. Is Eve of Destruction from 1991. Gregory Hines is in this, and from what I can make out, it's like almost like a female Terminator type movie, right?
He's got it. You know he's got it. I've seen that.
Look at that face. How could you not like that? Look at that. Why would you not?
Don't fuck with me.
I know I've seen it. I can't remember anything about it.
It's actually a good movie. It's on. I think it's on Tubi. Tubi, you guys. I keep putting it over, but I'm telling you, I go to bed at night, throw on Tubi, and I just scroll around. Like that thing's got everything on there, and it sucks because I'll order something from like Vinegar Syndrome or Severin, and as soon as I walk upstairs, I put on Tubi. It's like newly released. I'm like, what the hell? Like it's always like on there. So I would definitely check it out. I think that's on there right now, or it's on Prime for free. But I just saw it recently on there.
And that one was just a standard release. Didn't come with a slipcover or anything, right?
No, standard. Okay. Yeah.
Next one's a really fun one. That I think we talked to. What was her name? We interviewed
Kelly?
her briefly. Yeah, Kelly Maroney.
Yeah.
From Night of the Comet. It's a movie nobody ever references anymore. It's from 1984. There you go. Kelly Maroney made that entire movie, man. Like just her character. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like if they said, let's take Valley Girl and put zombies and shit in it. Like that's that movie. Yeah. This is a good movie, too.
Very good movie, and I feel like it didn't get any. Like for a while, I had it on that MGM DVD, and it felt like it was a movie that no one ever mentioned. And as soon as this Blu-ray came out, everybody's like, "Oh, I love that movie," and I'm like, and you just kind of heard everybody talk about it. But yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
If I'm not mistaken, like whenever that DVD came out too, that was the first time it'd been re-released since the original VHS release. So it's very, very, very hard to find and track down. And there was some sort of rights issue with it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly what it was. But, yeah, it was one movie that when it even came out on DVD, people couldn't believe it, that it was finally coming out. And I think Felcher worked on the DVD, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah, I remember him talking about it at that time. Or around
if you're a fan of just 80s era stuff with like a lot of it's in a shopping center, mall, stuff like that. It's got zombies in it. Kelly Maroney's awesome in it. She wears a cheerleader outfit the entire movie pretty much. So that's a good one. That was a hell of a release from Scream Factory too. I'll give them credit on that. And I think Nathan did the artwork on that too, right? Wasn't that one of his?
I don't know. Let me see what it says on there. Yep,
Okay.
Nathan. Yeah.
Okay, so also, I just wanted to reiterate here, Assault on Precinct 13, Eve of Destruction, and Night of the Comet all came out the same day. The next week, on the 26th of November, The Horror Show, which in some countries is known as House 3. And I always got this movie confused with Shocker because it's basically the same damn movie.
It is, isn't it? I didn't think about it. And I actually never saw this movie until I got that friggin' box set. Yeah. And I finally got to see it.
Yeah, I got the box set as well. Which, that's a hell of a deal. I think it's still on sale right now with the Camp Arrow video deal. It's like $28 or $30 or something on sale right now for it's all 4 House movies in the UK on Blu-ray.
Yep.
So, but yeah, The Horror Show, I mean, that was another standard release, right, Garrett? It was just one of their...
Oh, yeah. It was a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, but it was it wasn't a collector's edition.
Saturn 3. I have no clue what the hell that is.
I swear to God, there's no way you have that. Saturn 3. What the fuck?
Now,
Man,
here's the thing. Listen. Saturn 3, this is actually a pretty good movie, but is there a part 1 or 2, or is it just, like, what's the deal with this? Like, was it just called Saturn 3, or was this a third of a bunch of movies?
Maybe it was the name of a ship was Saturn 3 or something like that. Spaceship.
Kirk Douglas in it, man.
So, is it like, it's got to be sci-fi, right?
It is sci-fi-ish, yeah. It's been a long while. I think I saw this when it first came out, and I had never seen it prior, and I was like, oh, that was really cool. Takes place on a ship, for sure, and it's like I can't explain it. I'd have to rewatch it, but I do remember being very surprised that this was good because I had no idea what it was going into it.
Continuing on here now, this is just scary shit if you've got this, Garrett. I don't want to,
I guarantee you he's got it. I guarantee it. I'm not.
The TV Terrors, The Initiation of Sarah, and Are You in the House Alone?
Listen, I didn't get the Vinegar Syndrome one because it's on here already, these two. So I've already got them. So I didn't buy the Vinegar Syndrome one because these are on there,
Yeah, but you'll have it in better quality if you get the Vinegar Syndrome one. It'll be an HD. Not be that. Don May'd really be yelling at you right now if he was here. Do you remember those movies at all? Anything about them?
Nope. Nah.
The next one up, and we're still in 2013. This is December 17th. The Beast Within.
Oh, this is a great movie.
Yeah, I got that one.
Really is. Scene's killer, dude.
I think I've got the Arrow version of that.
I'm trying to remember who directed it. Who is the director of that? Because it's some Mora guy, I think.
It is. Hold on, can't see in the light. Harvey Bernard Gabriel Katska production. I don't know if that helps. Directed by Felipe Mora. Mora?
If it's the same guy I'm thinking of, didn't he direct one of those horrible Howling movies, like 3 or 4 or
I think he directed 3. Howling 3, I'm pretty sure, because he's Australian. Whoa!
But this movie is like a shit ton better than the Howling 3. I'll tell you that. Like, it's about a giant locust, basically a giant boy locust.
It's a cicada.
Cicada, yeah, grasshopper, something.
So you had that day. You had The Beast Within, and the Klaus Kinski movie, Crawl Space. And there's a couple of crawl spaces, right?
This is not the one I want. I want that other one.
Well, I've got that one. And it's
that's been like MIA forever. Dude, I never found that. I've never come across it. I wasn't going to pay the money they wanted, so Yeah, that's one I do not have in my collection. It was very sought after for me, for everybody, for years on DVD. So
Yeah, it's like over $100 all day on eBay. I think it's the TV movie Crawl Space, right, from the 70s.
yeah, and I've heard good things about it too. So
Yeah.
it's very similar to like a Bad Ronald, I hear, or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah, there's a lot of those movies like that.
yeah.
TV movies for some reason. People that are stuck in the walls and shit in the back in the 70s.
That was a big thing, yeah. It's just people coming out of the walls.
Scare the hell out of little kids. There's somebody in the walls. They're going to get you if you don't go to bed, you little motherfucker.
Yeah. Like the gate. That fucking guy's still on the wall.
Look, if you don't go to bed, Jimmy, he's going to come out of the wall and rip your asshole out.
Maybe that was that noise we heard earlier at Bill's house.
Yeah, it's somebody's trapped in the wall. He's going to pull my asshole
In the
out.
wall.
I got good news, though. We are in 2014 now. The first release from 2014 is a movie that I saw one time and I vowed to never watch again. It was Cat People. There we go.
You son of a bitch. You got the slip cover for it and everything. Like, I remember watching that movie as a kid, really young, and like there's like one scene in it in particular I can remember, but I don't remember anything else about that movie. I know doesn't have Malcolm McDowell in it.
It's not a bad movie. It's weird. It's super weird movie, but I always kind of thought it was pretty good. I have the DVD if you want it, brother. I'll send it to you. It's the snapper
Yeah.
case.
It'd be killing.
Snapper case.
I'll ship it to you in a medium now.
Oh shit! I miss the snapper cases. Not really.
Now, you know what I did, honestly, with all of my
Send me your
snapper
address. It's coming
cases?
your way.
Well, Uncle Bill
All right.
I gave you one of the, I don't remember which movie it was. All the snapper cases that I had, right? I took the snapper part off and just put them in plastic bags.
Oh yeah, it was. God damn it! What was that? You let
I
me
can't
borrow it
remember.
not too long ago. Yeah, I can't.
But yeah,
remember.
I've done all my snapper cases like
Oh,
that 'cause I can't
13
stand them.
13 Ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually bought the Scream Factory one, so you're good. Don't worry about it. Die Monster Die was the next one, the same day, January 21st. What do you think about? Oh, there you go.
This is just amazing to me.
I have no clue what this is about. I don't even know if I've ever watched it, to be honest with you.
Boris Karloff.
No idea.
in it, though.
But again, doing these shows might give me a whole list of things to rewatch because I don't remember much about some of these.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly feel like, as far as like Dead Pit content and stuff, we need to kind of review some old school shit because we've never really done that.
Yeah, I just think that just skipped us like a generation. You know, like that's just not something we grew up watching.
Super duper chat from Hey Dude 607. Loving these, looking forward to the rest of them. Yeah, these are fun to do because it's kind of, like I was saying earlier, it's just like a free for all BS session about a ton of movies. Next one up, this is hilarious too because I know he's got it. I know he has it.
I'm waiting on it.
The double feature of The Beast of Hollow Mountain and the Neanderthal Man.
Dude, you guys want to do reviews on old movies? Let's do a review on the Neanderthal Man.
It's a fucking two-pack.
I have no clue. I have no clue what these are about. So
Well, of course you don't. That's like some shit that my dad would watch. Like shit from the 50s.
Scream Factory could do no wrong, man.
Oh god.
What you could do though,
I
is like,
trusted them with everything. I had.
if you if you can't sleep one night, just put one of those in there and it'll probably make you fall asleep.
Neanderthal.
The Neanderthal Man especially.
Oh god.
Also, the next one up in February 4th, it was the Kevin Tenney double feature month, kind of, but they released these separately. This edition is fucking badass and one of the best covers that Scream Factory's ever done, in my opinion. And I pulled it out here somewhere too, but Garrett, you got it ready, don't you? Woo, baby. Night of the Demons.
Yeah. This is one of the posters that I haven't sold. I said last time I have a boatload of posters from these couple of years. So if anybody's interested in posters from Scream Factory, hit me up. I have some for sale, but not sure if I'm gonna get rid of this one. This is another classic that I just love. This one.
That's one of my low key favorite horror films. I don't know, like there's something about it. Like you can watch it on Halloween, you can watch it. It's just a great movie.
That opening music is killer, dude.
It's like the movie is based on a party, but like when you're based around a party, but when you're watching it, it's like it's fun. It's like going to a party or something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
I think that movie really does hinge on what's the guy's name?
Hal Havens.
Hal Havens. I mean, I think he's a big part about why that movie is as good as it is because he just keeps everything going until he gets killed. But yeah,
he really one of the best lines of all time in a movie. And I swear to God, like I use it all the time around the house, just joking or on the show or whatever. Eat a bowl of fuck. We're here to party, right? Or I'm here to party, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Evidently, according to Kevin Tenney, that was just something that he said. I don't think that was in the script. That's freaking amazing, if that's the case.
What was the original name for this movie? Wasn't it like Halloween Party or something? Wasn't it called something like that?
I think it was Halloween Party, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool name, yeah.
And then, of course, Witchboard, which Tawny Katane, the star of the movie, just recently passed away not too long ago. It's another great one from Kevin Tenney.
Look at that.
It's one of those. You got yours autographed, man. How'd that happen?
So, number one, this isn't a collector's edition, which I always thought it should have been. I don't know why this wasn't.
Yep.
But I don't know if you guys remember, but back then, Dark Delicacies were doing like a shit ton of online signings where you could like pre-order like a lot of these Scream Factory titles or movies in general, and then they would do a signing and then send you the disc and autograph. So I think it was cheap. Like I think it was like $40, and I got the Blu-ray and all these signatures on it for like $40. So who's on here is Kevin Tenney, J.P. Lubson, Stephen Nichols, Kenny Rhodes, and Roy Wagner. So it wasn't a collector's edition, so it didn't have a poster or anything. So I ended up getting that from Dark Delicacies on an order, which I also did that for those documentaries that they did for Friday the 13th and Elm Street that have like a shit ton of signatures on there. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it's like boatloads of people on there.
Yeah, I've got that around here somewhere.
They still do stuff like that every once in a while, but not like they used to. Used to, it's like on almost a monthly basis they had something cool like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of those movies, Witchboard and Night of the Demons. Kevin Tenney's one of those guys that I think that we definitely want to get him back on and I'm pretty sure we can. He's one of the coolest guys that we've ever dealt with the show. So he'd be a cool maybe live stream interview to do, maybe closer to Halloween or something like that.
Yeah, he just at one time we were at that show and he just called me up or texted me and was like, "You want to have breakfast?" I was like, yes I would. And then we just had fucking breakfast together and he was talking about movies and stuff.
Yeah,
it's one of the most bizarre kind of things that's ever happened.
Genuine guy for sure. Funny too, funny as hell. If you don't have him on Facebook, definitely add him because he posts some entertaining stuff on a daily basis on there. Continuing on, though, this is another one that I was kind of baffled by because for the longest time I didn't even remember it coming out. And it should have not only been on a single disc release, it should have had its own collector's edition. And that was Bad. It's a double feature that was released, Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours, on February the 18th.
Yeah, these are two good movies.
Yeah.
Were these Anchor Bays, I think, back in the day?
Right.
Were they both?
Yep. I'm thinking they both were.
Bad Dreams has one of my favorite villains, and he's been in a couple of my favorite movies, which is Richard Lynch. He was in...
I love Richard Lynch.
He was in...
he loves me too.
One of my other favorite movies, which was Invasion USA, which is the classic Chuck Norris movie where he says, you know, one of these days you're going to wake up and it's going to be time to die. He's fucking Richard Lynch. He also tore my poster all to shit, though. I'll never forgive him for that.
What?
You don't know that story? Okay,
God.
before we went to a show, and
He's
before
like, what happened?
before Richard Lynch passed away, Richard Lynch I feel like had like a lot of problems. And one of them I feel like was either alcohol or substance abuse, because I went up to get my poster signed by him, and he's like acting freaking wild. Just, I don't know, like can't sit still, like, just, slurring, making, all these things. And like I put the poster down. I forget who was sitting next to him. Was it the guy from Days of the Dead? What's that guy's name?
Bill Philpott.
Yeah, he was with him. And like he was like, yeah, just you give me your poster and I'll get him to sign it. So he puts the poster down and he's trying to unfold it. It's not rolled or anything. It's just one, it's like folded up. And when he's doing, he just rips the like right down the middle of it because he's fucking with it. Like, he's just like real quick trying to like open it. And he rips like straight down the middle of it. And he's just like, whoops. And then he just signs it like nothing happened. And then
Oh my God.
Bill was sitting over there and he's like, I'm sorry, man. He's like, it's just,
Well, at least you didn't pay anything for it.
yeah, that's true. I did pay for the fucking poster, though.
Well, the other part to that, though, Richard Lynch was drunk as fuck this day. All right. The reason I know this is, like, Uncle Bill got his picture with him, right? And then I guess he didn't have a whole lot of people that came up to him that day or whatever. So he was just, and he didn't know that he wasn't getting paid, right? He didn't pay any attention to that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had any idea that I didn't pay him.
So he's like, come here, big fella. Don't you want, I'll take a picture with you too. And he got like, have you ever had somebody get uncomfortably close to your face and like just talk and like
Like in your face, yeah.
spit and alcohol fumes and everything was right in my fucking face. And there's a picture on the Facebook page of this. And it, like, that was probably one of the funniest experiences ever because he would just, I couldn't really even understand what the hell he was saying, but he was just talking like right next to me like he was trying to make out with me or something. Richard Lynch did pass away like less than a couple years later, I think, from that though. So that's
Still
our
have
Richard
that
Lynch
poster
story.
ripped up or no?
Yeah, it's in here somewhere. Like, I think it's over there in one of those boards, yeah.
Also, Wet Movie, because he's giving us some advice. He's got like, I don't know how many damn subscribers Wet Movie got now. I don't even know. But like the video, hit thumbs up, and it helps us out, right?
Subscribe and
Sure,
save.
no, I see. What's up, Brendan? And I also see Doug Connor in here, man. Good seeing you, brother.
Doug, what's going on, dude? Ken Carlson, though, back to Richard Lynch, he said that Richard Lynch burned himself in 1967 the same way Richard Pryor did. He set himself on fire.
Freebasing cocaine? Yeah, well, that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, there are serious alcoholics at conventions, so he kind of fit in, but I think Richard Lynch was probably close to 70 years old at that point in time, right? Or he seemed, I mean, he was up there in age for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm trying to think of who the drunkest person at a convention was we ever met. He would be close.
John Dugan, but he kind of always is that drunk, so you can't.
Yeah,
really,
he can kind of maintain it, though. I think Richard Lynch couldn't hold anything together.
Yeah. Any visiting hours? I don't really remember that movie at all. Do you guys? William
think
Shatner's
it's-
in it,
in a
right?
hospital, I think.
Yeah. Okay. The Dark Man also come out the same day. It's a Sam Raimi movie that nobody really talks about a whole lot. I kind of like it. It's okay, but it's not one that I go back to very often.
It's got Liam Neeson.
Yeah, so I remember when this came out as a kid, I really wanted to see it. It had a lot of like hype behind it, I think. I can just remember a lot about it, and my mom wouldn't let me go see it. She was like, "We're not taking any of that. It's rated R." And you can really tell though that this had a lot of like Batman '89 vibe to it, because I just recently tried to watch it again because it's been years since I've seen it. And it actually wasn't as good as I remember trying to watch it again, but you can definitely tell that it had a lot of vibe from like that Batman '89. I don't know if that was like a purposeful thing. They were trying to kind of bank off that, but you can just tell a lot of similarities between it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been 20 years since I've watched that movie, but I can still remember the freaking amusement park scene just because of how bad it is. And if you've ever seen Darkman, you know the scene that I'm talking about too. So that's about all I can remember. Also, there's one other thing about it too. Wasn't Larry Drake the villain in it?
It's yeah.
In the first one,
wasn't that the first one?
What's this guy's name here? Shoot, I'm trying to think of what the villain's name was. You know him, but I don't know what his name is here. This dude.
Yeah, that's Dr. Giggles.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Continuing on though, they did take a long 1 month hiatus from February the 18th to March the 18th. The next release on March 18th, 2014, The Slumber Party Massacre. Now, this is one that had been re-released a few times. I still have the new Concord DVDs where they released all three of the Slumber Party Massacre movies and both of the Sorority House Massacre movies in a set. Now, was it Shout Factory did the Slumber Party Massacre by itself first, and then they did a collection, right?
They did the collection. I'm not sure if they did a solo, but I have the box set from them. It's like just like a collection. It's just got multiple discs in there. But that Concord ones were just classic, man. I remember buying those actually at a video store that was going out of business. I ended up grabbing like all of them, all the Slumber Parties and Sorority House, and just all from there. But those were hard to find for a long time.
Yeah, I remember the box set itself. Like I think I told you before, Uncle Bill, he does break for Drake, don't you?
I don't give a fuck. That's one of the most underrated movies ever, and you know it is.
You don't know what's funny about Larry Drake though is I actually met him one time at a convention, and I tried to get him to do, if he didn't want to do an interview with us. Obviously, I asked him, and I was like, "Well, could you do just like a promo and say, hey, this is Larry Drake, a.k.a. Dr. Giggles, and you're listening to Dead Pit Radio."
He's like, no.
He's like, no, I don't feel comfortable giving any sort of... He said something like he didn't feel comfortable giving some sort of approval of the radio show he doesn't know anything about.
That's probably smart in hindsight. Yeah.
Okay.
We get on there and be like, dicks. Whatever. But they recently re-released Slumber Party. Not re-released it in terms of like did anything new with it, but they put out the figure and everything with it, which I got, and then they got the steelbook. Yeah, that came with it.
Well, the gimmicks with the steelbooks now, according to Scream Factory, is these are 4K remastered transfers, so they're supposed to be better.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how good Slumber Party Massacre can look anyway. I have no idea, but
you know what? That might be on the list of movies I have the most of for some reason, because I do have the Steelbook, I do have this, and I do have the Concord, and I do have the collection one. So that's 4 Slumber Party Massacre.
Well, I have the Concord box. Well, it's the Concord collection. I have the single Shout Factory release, and then I have the Blu-ray. So I've got 3 different versions. I need to go through that. I need to fix this shit. Make me some more, some more room or something.
To be honest with you, though, I think Slumber Party Massacre 2 is actually a better movie. Because it's awful, but in a great way. I know you remember that one. It's got the Elvis impersonator guy in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's a great movie.
It's kind of a musical. Almost.
Yeah, it is. It's like Grease, except awful. Well, it's better than Grease.
And later on, they would do we'll talk about that later on, though.
Yeah.
They would do the sequels. And some of these movies, too, and some of these on this list here are out of print, and they go for insane amounts of money. And I'm sure some people on here want to stay tuned for that, because some of these these movies are fucking terrible, okay? If I had them, they would not be in the collection. I would sell them, Garrett. I'm just saying. Don't give in to peer pressure, but some of these are worth so much money.
I don't know any of that.
Okay.
So you guys let me know which ones are worth anything, because I have no clue. I don't know what's in print, what's out of print.
Well, one that I know is not worth a fuck is Beneath. That's the next one that come out on the 26th. It's some sort of independent movie, I think.
I was waiting on it.
You made a face there like you didn't have it, but
Yeah, right.
He's going beneath, baby. He's beneath.
Is that?
He's beneath.
What is that?
that's
What
a
the
killer
fuck is
crocodile
that?
movie.
It doesn't look like a crocodile. It looks like a goddamn.
That's
It looks like the thing from Beetlejuice.
You know what? I did watch this when it first came out, and again, I don't think it was the worst. I think it was okay, but I also kind of getting this confused with another movie that came out around this time, which it was a found footage movie called The Bay, which, if you guys have seen, it's actually pretty decent. So I'm not sure if I'm getting this confused with that or not, but I think this was okay. But
really?
let me know. I think.
There was another one that came out in April, Dead Shadows.
He's in the shadows.
Look at that shit.
Slip. He's got the slippy. Look at that. Woo.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Dude, what am I batting 1,000 here right now?
Yeah, I don't think you missed any except the ones you sold, and that's
Yeah.
The next one, if you've got this one, this is one that I believe is worth quite a bit of money. And
it is.
it is the Clint Howard crazed nerd movie, Evil Speak. There it is. Not a very good movie, but I think it's worth a very good lot of money on eBay. Last time
But
I
if
looked.
this is on DVD, I may have it still. Which, if the DVD's worth a shit, I'll sell it. I'd have to look and see if I have it though.
I watched it on Shudder about 2 weeks ago, and it's I don't know.
I think I tried to watch it and I couldn't hardly get through it. It's been a long time. If I'm not mistaken.
It's not very good. He's basically getting bullied in it. He's at this military kind of school, and so he uses a computer to get the devil basically to like take revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one is I've got a love-hate relationship with this. I just love to hate this movie. It's Final Exam from 1981. I think it's one of Dana's favorites. I've got it on the DVD, the BCI DVD, and that's good enough for me, I think. I can... Not that I'll ever watch
I have that
movie
one
again.
still. That came out like around the same time with like, remember when they released what the hell? Savage Streets? And like it was a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah.
I think that came out like around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
BCI
Code
had
Red
some
release
cool
that
stuff.
too?
What?
Did
yeah,
Code
Savage
Red
Streets?
release? No, Final Exam. They didn't release Final Exam.
Oh,
I don't think so.
maybe.
God damn! I thought somebody like that did around that time. But anyway, what's your opinion on that movie, Garrett? Because I've never heard you
Final
really say.
Exam?
Yeah.
Again, man, I don't remember a lot about it. I keep getting it confused with like, what's the other one that came out around that time? Like
Final
Splatter
Terror.
University. I know one of them was like more of a comedy, right?
Yeah, there was Slaughter High and a lot of them like that.
that's another
Yeah.
one. So I kind of get those three like mixed up. So I would have to probably rewatch it, because let me look at the back and see if I can remember anything about it.
It's just one of the most boring fucking movies, like in any genre, really. But some
Yeah, I
people love
forget.
it.
I'm with Doug Connor on this one. Got to agree with him. I hate it.
And the killer in it is just some guy. It's like,
Yeah.
there's no,
You know what? I'm going to put that on my rewatch list then, because again, it's been so long, and I keep getting things mixed up with those other two that we just talked about. So
Davey Collins is
rewatch
saying
this
that
thing.
Code Red did do a DVD of it. So they may have done the DVD in between the BCI DVD and the Blu-ray of Scream Factory. It's possible. Final Exam has a fake school shooting in it, though, too, which is...
yeah.
They wouldn't make that in a movie now. But and everybody was laughing during it and everything. Oh, you silly kids with your fake school shootings. Joe Bob, I did do a creepy, crappy movie review of that. I believe I did back in the day. So yeah, Final Exam, not very good. And that's one you can still get very cheap though if you wanted to just be a completist when it comes to those 80s slasher movies. Next one up after Final Exam is Nosferatu the Vampire. I think that's another Klaus Kinski movie, right?
Look at that fucking thing. Look at it.
And Severin did the sequel to that recently too. Nosferatu in Venice, which evidently is really terrible, and that's kind of the selling point on it. Evidently.
I bought it, but I haven't watched it yet, so I can't say much about it. Speaking of that, did you get anything on the sale? I haven't got my Severin order yet. I haven't even got anything about it.
I got a shipping notice 2 or 3 days ago from them that stuff shipped. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten shit. They probably do it alphabetically or something. It's the only thing I can figure out because Uncle Bill always gets his shit before me.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of funny.
He's
like, ain't nothing been sent to me. Fuck.
Well,
my shit gets sent to the neighbor's house or whatever, too. So.
Did you buy the whole lot? Because maybe they do it that way. If you buy that big package, maybe they send those first priority. I don't know. Did you?
I don't think he did.
No, I bought 3. I bought 3 movies in that sale.
Oh. All right.
And I don't know what the deal is. Maybe they do it alphabetically. I don't know how they sort that shit.
Yeah. So, next one up was a pretty big deal. And it got released because I think Anchor Bay Entertainment was the last company that released it on anything. And it was on DVD probably, 10 years earlier from this. And that would be the collector's edition of Sleepaway Camp. There you go. I actually have that one too. You want to hear a funny story about this?
Sure.
This exact copy of Sleepaway Camp I got in a pawn shop for $4.
Wow.
Is that out of print now or no?
I think it is with the slip cover, but wasn't.
I got this bad boy.
Listen, that's awesome. The friggin'
cool.
The sequels to that film go for if you got any of those, they go for an insane amount of money on eBay.
Yeah, with or without the slip cover, actually. The slip will probably add another $50 onto it, though.
Yeah.
What about if you have the slip and the poster? A lot more or no?
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something, too. Honestly, most of the time you're not going to wait too long on this. Occasionally you'll have a Dawn of the Dead and you'll have to wait 5 or 6 years for it to come out. The Sleepaway Camp movies are going to be re-released. Somebody's going to re-release them at some point. Mm-hmm. So, I'm fine. If I were in your shoes, I'd be fine watching the DVDs and just selling them for crazy amounts of money because once the new editions come out, those aren't going to be worth anything.
I know. That would be the smart thing to do.
So,
because even Scream will probably put them out in 4K anyways.
They will.
And I liked the cover art on these 3. Did Nathan do these? I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he
did. He made them all look like they belong together, which is always really cool. And that's why I kept those posters as well because they just work so well together, side by side. So
Jerry said that the last time he checked, Part 2 was going for over $200.
Yeah.
That's like those steelbooks.
Box sets too from Anchor Bay.
Had you known about the Halloween the new Halloweens, you could have 2 weeks ago, you could have got $150-$200 out of those too, probably.
You probably still could, to be honest. The way people are.
Well, I just threw the steels up there, so I'll let you know if I end up getting rid of them.
Yeah, I've got it over here.
I shit you not,
This one right here, right? This was out of print for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the pre-orders come up for this again, Garrett? I think you were the one told me about it, or somebody told me about it. And it was $13.99 pre-order. So I bought 2 of them. As soon as I got them in, I immediately flipped the other one for $30. So people are stupid. I mean, hopefully, like the steel books on that you've got on eBay will sell for you, because most of these people, I don't know what it is, they don't look on other websites. I don't know. This right now is $13 and something, and I just sold it to somebody on eBay for like $30.
Ken Carlson just said 1 through 3 with slips is going for $375 on eBay. Oh my god.
Yep. Let me tell you an interesting story though about Pamela Springsteen, since we're on the topic. Back in the day, we tried everything in the world to get her to do an interview for the show, because she has a photography website where I guess that's what she does now. She's
With an email on it.
Yeah, well, she's also Bruce Springsteen's sister, which I guess means she doesn't have to do anything. And we sent, I don't know how many different like emails to her over time, probably like 20 or something like that. And she just has absolutely no interest in talking about any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, you don't ever see anybody talk to her about those movies.
Like, she didn't do anything for those Blu-rays, did you?
No.
Video Man Gizmo is from fucking Norway watching us, Uncle, but we're in Eastern Kentucky. And
Can I ask where the people
Norway.
on here are from?
Well, me and Uncle Bill is from Appalachia, deepest, darkest Eastern Kentucky.
I'm from the Northeast, little itty bitty Rhode Island up here.
You can drive across the state in what, half an hour?
Yeah, 40 minutes, man. 40 minutes.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I know it's
That's
small
okay.
state.
It's true. 40
You can
minutes,
drive across the
I can go-
fucking state in 40 minutes.
Yeah, I know what sucks is when I actually get into other states, it's like I freaking get pissed off because I'm like, when is this state going to end? Like, to me, Connecticut feels like it's like the biggest state ever. And I'm like, what the fuck? It takes me 2 hours to get across this freaking state. Yeah, I mean, it's bad because everything's so close. So when you actually go to like, I remember being in New York City one time and I knew a girl that lived in Albany. And I remember like messaging her and be like, I'm in New York. And she's like, dude, you're like 6 hours from me. Come down. Like, you know, like I have no concept of like distance being here. Like I really don't. Like even Boston is only an hour from my house, you know.
How far are you from Pennsylvania?
So I drive down to Monster Mania every year, and it's right on the southern. It's like basically on the line of Philly, and it takes me like almost 6 hours to get there.
Okay, so yeah, that's kind of a trip.
That's driving. If I took a plane, it takes me an hour by flight.
I've been keeping up with this this drive-in movie theater that's in. I was going to get the town, Lehighton, Pennsylvania. It's called the Mahoning Drive-In.
Yeah.
And they do like a Friday the 13th marathon every year with like 2 or 3 of the Friday the 13th movies. And they do like horror screenings all the time and stuff. And I've talked to Sarah about maybe going up
Listen,
there.
it's Pennsylvania is not a bad. If you're going to go to Pennsylvania, though, you got to go. You might as well just go ahead and go up through like Pittsburgh and see all the shit that's like the Night of the Living Dead and the Crazies and the Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. All that stuff is up there.
Yeah, like I mean, dude, that might be something cool. Like if we can get together and figure that out. Like, dude, like again, it takes me if I took a flight from here, it takes me literally to to Pennsylvania, like an hour flight. You know, it'd probably take me to get to Pittsburgh. It might take me like 7 hours, 8 hours, but I could easily just fly down there in an hour and meet up. So just let me know if that ever is something people want to do.
And I don't know if you saw this or not, but like, and I don't know if you care or not, but Joe Bob's doing like a live thing from that drive-in too in the upcoming future.
They have a lot of cool stuff. I mean, genre stuff mainly too. It looks like they do a lot of horror screenings and stuff up there. So, but continuing on here, where were we at? Sleepaway Camp. So the next one, damn, we're still in fucking May. Let's see if we can go through these pretty quick here. House in the Alley. I've never heard of that.
He's got it.
I don't know. No idea. I don't think I've ever watched it. Can't tell you about it.
This one right here is kind of, they come out June the 3rd, Ravenous, starring Guy Pearce, David Arquette.
It's
Kinda set
not
around
bad.
Set around the Civil War era or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It was the first time I'd ever seen it was when I bought this. I only watched it once, but I can remember liking it when I did watch it. So if anybody knows about that one, let me know what you think, because I did enjoy that one.
I don't think I've ever seen it. That's one that I have never seen, I'm pretty sure.
I hear good things about it though. Like a lot of people think it's a cult classic, but I've never seen it.
What about this one, Garrett? The Monkey's Paw, baby.
I got that little monkey hand over here.
What a cover.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that little hand.
And it even has a suitcase.
I don't know what this is about either. Wait, let me see if it's open.
It's about a monkey's paw.
I don't remember it.
Davey says that one's worth watching. Or maybe he's talking about Ravenous. Let's see here. The next one, July 1st, The Final Terror, which this is a movie it's a cure for insomnia for me. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but Rachel Ward's in it, Daryl Hannah's in it. It's a slasher movie, but isn't it like an alien or something is the killer or something like that?
Dude, you know what? A lot of these, yeah, it is an alien. A lot of these movies, they all seem the same to me. I forget now. Like I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of another movie called like Humongous. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Like I'm getting confused on like what is what here. Like
there was like a lot of those movies, like the wilderness slasher movies and stuff around that time period. Yeah, they're all in the woods and stuff, but they all tried to have some sort of little gimmick around them that not the other ones didn't do. And this one, the fucking killer was a damn alien or something. Like, give me a break. But the movie is crazy boring. It's fucking terrible. Like I would honestly say that this one's worse than The Final Exam.
Great. Good stuff over here.
So, next one up. This one I remember when this one came out because it was kind of out of nowhere. And it's like, really? It was Lake Placid. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like, why is this a collector's edition? Tell me. I don't think it should be, no?
No.
A lot of people really like that movie, though. Like, I've always kind of been indifferent to it. It's got, like, a couple of good things, mostly, like, Betty White, but there's a lot of people that love it.
So Doug is saying that this one, we were talking about Final Terror, it's a straightforward slasher, no alien, it's a mountain woman. Okay. Maybe I do need to rewatch it then. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I do remember it being boring, though. Anyway.
It's a mountain woman. That's right up our alley.
It's Mamie. Lake Placid. I don't really remember. I know I've seen Lake Placid, but I don't really remember it at all. How about you guys?
It was one of those, like, it seems like one of those, like, sci-fi, made for sci-fi TV movies. It was around that time where they were still trying to figure out CGI, which I still think they're still trying to figure out CGI, but, yeah, it wasn't anything. It was like a weird late 90s horror. I never was a big fan of it, but.
I don't know. I've got a soft spot for, like, killer crocodile animal movies, I guess. Like any of those movies like Alligator or Grizzly and all that stuff. Alligator 2, The Mutation, yeah.
Actually, did you ever see a movie? Let me talk about this really quick with that. You just said that. I'm looking to see what company put it out. Oh, my God. It was called Roar. So who put that out? Did you ever see that? It's out on Blu-ray.
Roar,
and
roar.
It's crazy. It's like literally like look up the trailer and check it out on the trailer. It's like legit animals that like attack people like in it. Like they use like real lions and shit. It's crazy.
What the fuck? So is it like a documentary or are they just putting like footage in there?
It's like it's a movie and they put like lions in this like I don't know, they like enclosed them in this thing and they like had the people like piss them off and shit and like they were attacking them and there was like people that really got hurt, animals who really got hurt.
What?
Yeah, making it. So somebody put it out on Blu-ray. I own it. I'm just trying to think who put it out. It might have been like Olive maybe or something, but I would definitely look that up. Look up the trailer at least just to check it out.
Did either of you guys see it? Reminded me of that documentary Grizzly Man. Have you all seen that?
Oh yeah,
I never seen it.
Timothy
Yeah,
Treadwell or something like that.
You got to check that one out because the audio of that surfaced on YouTube a few years ago. I don't want to give it away or anything, but this guy's he was one of those crazy animal activist nut guys, but just for mainly grizzly bears. And this documentary follows him around it. He eventually gets eaten by one of the grizzly bears, and there is footage. I don't know if it's footage or just audio of it, and you could hear it. Yeah, it's holy shit.
Where can I see it?
It's a pretty big documentary.
Yeah.
I think it was up for it's probably about 10 years old at this point, or maybe even older than that. But you should be able to stream it, go on like Yidio or something like that, and type it in. It should be on one of those sites.
No, people are talking about Roar in here. Roar.
So, yeah, Lucio Inferno. This was the next one that I was going to bring up. And this one is worth a lot of money, Garrett. That one is worth crazy money.
You know, shouldn't want to keep Deadly Eyes.
Deadly Eyes, baby.
Unless you've got a big attachment to Deadly Eyes.
Unless you love him killing rats.
It's one of those ones I was thinking, when I was putting the pile together, I was like, I should probably rewatch this one because I don't recall it too much. So there's no real attachment here. I wouldn't mind checking it out, though, again. So did this not have a DVD, or did it? I don't remember if I
don't think it did, yeah. I think that's the only release it ever got. Yeah, Deadly Eyes, like that. I can ask a couple of people in here. I think Deadly Eyes is one of the most valuable Scream Factory ones that's out for some reason.
Matt says sell Deadly Eyes and get all the Scream Factory Halloween 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry L. He thinks the audio's. I don't think the audio's fake. I listened to it. I mean, it sounded pretty real to me. But he says that it's streaming on Amazon Prime. If you want to check it out, it's a really good documentary. Either way, I mean, Deadly Eyes is $102 on eBay right now.
Holy mac!
Did it come? That one did come with a. That's just a standard release, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, say if it come with a poster, man, you'd be hell. You could make like a down payment on a car or something.
Deadly Eyes, you got those deadly eyes.
Oh yeah. That's what the edited Hell Lord song would be. We'd change it to Deadly Eyes.
Make that the theme song.
Next one up, and oddly enough, yeah, this one was the other one that I found at Goodwill for $4. I couldn't believe it.
It's a good one, man.
It's a great movie. Ginger Snaps from 2000. Was it 2001? 2000, around that time frame there.
2000 movies.
Yeah, it's 2000. Yeah.
I love Ginger Snaps, man. I remember when I saw this, I was like obsessed with this movie, and I actually even liked the sequels and stuff too. But it's been a long while since I've seen it.
Talk about a movie.
Catherine Isabel there for a while.
Talk about a movie that came out of nowhere too. Like there wasn't anything like that in 2000. Like it was Canadian, which explains a lot, I guess, because nobody in the U.S. was making any kind of movies like that.
Right, and this was a weird time for horror too, right? Around the year 2000.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I mean, this was just the tail end of the Scream era, and it was kind of in a holding period there. So it was an interesting movie that came out. Well, you had this one and Dog Soldiers, and there's a couple of Ravenous, I guess, was one that came out around that time. Just kind of a weird, it was a placeholder time for the genre, if you will.
Yeah.
When did Bad Moon come out? Because that's the only other werewolf movie I can really remember from the 2000s.
I think that was like
90s? 90s?
Yeah,
2000?
that was like
96.
96, 97, something like that.
I thought it was 90s, but I could be wrong. It's a good one, though. I like Bad Moon.
It's
yeah.
got Dennis the Menace in it.
Does it?
Yeah, the little boy that plays Dennis the Menace is in it. And
I didn't know that.
Live action, yeah. He was a little bit older, but Next one up is Phantom of the Paradise from August the 5th. I know nothing about this movie at all.
Dude,
so.
no, this is a good movie. You don't know
Is
this?
it really?
Oh
I've
my
never
God, yeah.
seen it.
It's like a musical kind of, but it's cool. It's about this guy. He's like a music artist, but see that guy there with the mask?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what does that remind me of? I just said something about it. Oh, when I reviewed that new zombie movie with Batista, I said the main zombie looked like Phantom of the Paradise. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, definitely recommend it. I'm gonna see, dude. I might have the DVD still. If I do, I'll send it to you.
I don't know how I've seen that movie, but I have, and like something in it, like he writes the songs, but the company rips them off or something like that, so he becomes like
he's like a
the
real
Phantom
guy.
Yeah,
exactly. They think they kill him, and then he kind of comes back as like this like Phantom character, but it's cool. It's like about a music industry that basically takes this guy's music and then runs with it. So I think you'd really like it. Let me check and see if I still have it on DVD. If you want it, you can have it, unless this thing's still in print. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever watched it, though. But the same day as that is Without Warning, the 1980 is a Blu-ray DVD combo, released August the 5th. Any memories from that one?
I had this Anchor Bay. I think Anchor Bay had this one, I believe. And it was kind of one of those ones that was a little bit rare. It was one of those ones that people were really kind of sought after. But I'm just looking at it's been a while since I've seen it. I'm looking at the alien on the back. Look at this.
That looks like somebody on meth here in Eastern Kentucky.
yeah.
Well, some of that crystal meth, Daddy. Another one that I fucking love the artwork on this, and this is another one. Nathan Thomas Milner, man. Like, he hits it out of the park every freaking artwork that he ever did. And I actually pulled this one out here, too. Motel Hell. There you go. I keep plastic on mine so you can see Garrett's better.
That's a great movie, though. I don't like. You got to think that movie came out the same year as Friday the 13th, and like there couldn't be two different styles of movies. But there's something about it. Like, it's batshit crazy, but great at the same time. There's the whole idea behind it too. Mm-hmm. I've probably seen it. I don't know. 50
the old
times.
man in it, that Rory Calhoun, is that his name?
Calhoun, something like that.
Yeah, he is the star of the movie. And him and his wife, or his sister, his wife, I can't remember.
I can't either.
But
sister? Yeah,
their banter back and forth, and just his character in general, and just kind of the tongue-in-cheek nature of the whole movie. And I love the way it's shot. Very underrated movie there. And I don't remember that when I was growing up. I don't know when I saw it. It might have been MGM, I think, did a DVD of it or something like that.
Yeah, that's when I
Maybe
saw it. I actually didn't see it until like I got the DVD from MGM like way later. Was it one of those like midnight movies or something?
Oddly enough, the artwork, like, I almost thought that I had seen it, but I was thinking of Mountaintop Motel Massacre. So it wasn't Motel Hell. But that edition's awesome. That's a killer movie. I think it's still in print, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that's one that goes for crazy money. But next one, Leviathan. That's another kind of odd one that Scream Factory went after. That one came out the next week, August 19th.
Peter Weller.
Yeah. Any Leviathan. I get that one mixed up. I can't really recall.
I agree.
There's Leviathan, the Abyss,
Deep Star 6.
Deep Star 6. Yeah.
I always get that mixed up too.
Yeah, the Deep, there was like so many of those at the time. I got them confused too.
Let's see here. Douglas is wanting to do a remake. I think a remake of Motel Hell would be killer, actually. Like, because that's a movie that not too many people know about, and it's a good concept. I think it'd work.
What goes for big money? This Leviathan, big money.
Look it up. I'm not really sure about Leviathan because that's one that I don't know if I've ever really looked up. But yeah, John knows his shit, so it probably is. Yeah, $100 all day long.
Hey, sorry.
There's your 4K set.
Yep. That's it right there.
You can buy us all
like
one with those.
Big money, Matt. Yeah.
The next one up, August 26, 2014, The Legend of Hell House from 1973.
I think that's Roddy McDowell. I think I have that one too.
I think I've got that one on DVD. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Roddy McDowell. Yeah, it is.
That's actually a pretty good movie. It's like an older Hammer style kind of.
It is very Hammer style.
Like haunted house movie, yeah.
Hammer time. Rounding out though the second year, I guess the last major release, and this is a good one. I love this movie around Halloween, and it is Pumpkinhead, baby.
Pumpkinhead.
Now, who did the artwork on that one, Garrett? I can't recall. Is that Justin Osborne, maybe?
Nathan usually signs his name. I don't see anything here.
Okay, I think Justin just has like Osborne or something on it, but that's a killer artwork too. I'm not sure.
You know what? I do think I might have this poster if anybody wants it.
Greg Caldwell says Justin Osborne is the artist, so great job on that one. And that movie's just killer. It just is.
I love Pumpkinhead.
What's his fucking name in that movie? The witch says it. Like that's one of the best scenes in the movie too, where she's talking to him. What's the character's name?
Somebody in the chat.
Yeah.
Ed Harley.
Ed Harley.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The makeup effects, and I mean, I know it's Stan Winston's team and everything, but Jesus, I mean, still to this day, or last time I watched it 3 or 4 years ago, or whatever. Like, this is a movie that came out in 1988, and it on HD, it looks great still. You know, there's not too many movies that you can really say that with from that time period, from 30 plus years ago. What
a great simple idea that movie had too, which is a group of like city folk come in and like accidentally end up causing this boy to be killed, and then he finds this monster, the father does, and actually he finds this witch who resurrects this monster Pumpkinhead to take revenge, and that's the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's so different, but it works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Lance Henderson's great in it.
Yeah, Lance Henderson, that's what I was going to say. When there's that one scene when they go back to check on the kid and just that look that Henderson gives them, I mean, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
he was
great.
He was method, though. I remember the story, like, that he told on one of those commentaries where he was doing Near Dark, and like he would not take off like the outfit and shit that he had on, and they were driving around and like a cop pulled him over, and he was just like staring down the cop because he was still in character as like the vampire, and like about got himself arrested.
That's awesome.
Greg Caldwell said, "Think of this though. He had the choice of seeing this or Halloween 4 in the theaters. Together, they were both in the theaters at the same time. He picked Halloween 4.
I probably would have too at the time, because who the hell knew what Pumpkinhead was?
You know, though, like, that's just crazy, though, from that time period, all the great stuff that you had a chance to check out. Mm-hmm. And now just how, and we're not even talking about, I mean, you can just go by standards of a couple of years ago before COVID and everything. How many theatrical horror movies were there, really? A handful the entire year, maybe.
Yep.
But rounding out the year, I have no clue what this is.
He's got it.
I know you've got it.
Yeah. He does.
Get your batteries ready.
Who put that out? Duracell? Was that Duracell
you know
Studio?
What's funny about this
the
is, I'm trying to think who wrote this or directed this or whatever, because I think whoever it was just came out with like their follow up to this, which wasn't a sequel, but like their follow up movie. Because I heard a lot of hype about it, and I can't remember who it was. But I remember people saying like, "Oh, it's his follow up to Battery." And honestly, I don't remember much about this movie, so I don't even know if I ever watched it. So if anybody knows what the new movie is that this person did and whoever directed this.
So yeah, that rounds out the year, the second year of Scream Factory releases, and it's just insane. Literally, it took us like 2 hours to go through the releases from, September to September.
I mean, think about that. That's 12 months, and I mean, how many did they come out with per month? I mean, that's insane.
It's nuts. But yeah, I mean, year 3, they don't slow down at all.
No, I was looking at that. Like, it's just continuously.
We definitely have some interesting shit to talk about with year 3, and I'm going to try to get something together for the whole Nightbreed thing as well. Because that's just, we talked about it on Region Free when we were on there the other night a little bit. And I think people overall have kind of forgot about what they did. And I want to catch people back up on it because I found some stuff, and we're going to put together we'll have a little clip video. It'll be like Pizzale's show and say, oh, let's cut to 2014. What happened? The year Scream Factory pulled this shit. So
now I looked really quick on this, and does the Halloween box set come out in year 3?
It is. It's the first release.
That to me, like, I just feel like that feels so much like it feels so much newer than Nightbreed. I don't know. It just does. I was shocked that was only year 3. Like, I feel like I only got that box set like a couple of years ago. So that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, 2014. It's been what, 8 years ago, or 7 years ago?
Dude, does that make sense that like you had this Halloween box set 7 years ago?
No, it doesn't. Actually, now that you mention it, like, it feels like
so now now it's like maybe we should lay off them re-releasing it because it has been 7 years.
Right.
It feels like it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean the releases as far as it definitely just looking at the first couple of months for the 2014 season, I guess we would say, for Scream Factory. Man, I don't know how you afforded all this stuff, to be honest with you. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's way more than what they're doing now, for sure. Yeah,
so, what I was doing with this was the collector's editions I was buying through the site, and there was this store near my house that's no longer exists. It's called Movie Stop, and they used to have tons of, like, used and new stuff, and I basically would pre-order stuff from them, and if you pre-ordered stuff from them, you got like an extra $5 off. So a lot of these like non-collector's edition titles like ended up only really costing me like a lot of them were like $12 or something like that back then, maybe 15 tops. So I was able to score them for a really good price back then because I had like a little deal with that store. So that's where I got all these non-collector edition ones to kind of make it a little bit cheaper. So. But that's all I can remember about that.
Yeah. What I remember is interesting, though, is like after, I think, 2014 or so, I really almost completely stopped buying Scream Factory stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it was around the Nightbreed thing where I was being very picky about the ones that I got because that pissed me off so much.
Yeah, I think that's right around the time we both kind of fell out of buying anything from Scream Factory. I think the Halloween box set might have been one of the last like big things that I bought from them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I bought some stuff since then, and I did buy a few things here and there. But it'll definitely be interesting to go through more of these. And these shows like this are always fun to do. Like I said, I mean, it's just like a rapid fire kind of random thoughts on this movie and that movie.
Yeah, I'm curious to see like you guys have seen. Like I was just going nuts with Scream Factory these first 2 years. Like I didn't miss a release for the first 2 years. I don't think I have everything from year 3, but I have to look. But there was a point in time where I just was like, I can't keep doing this because they were releasing a lot of stuff that I had just recently bought on Blu-ray, and they happened to grab the rights to, and I was like, I'm not double dipping on like, what's that one there? The one that Sam Raimi did.
Drag Me to Hell.
Movie. Yeah, like I wasn't gonna buy that. I already had it on Blu-ray. Like it wasn't gonna happen. So I'm just curious to see like what years and stuff I started to really dial back with their releases.
Yeah, like I said, we'll get into these. It's odd that they've been around that long. Anthony, appreciate it, man. Thanks. For the super chat, brother. The years as they go along, though, obviously, like they may be shorter and shorter. Maybe we can get a couple of years in. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, from like 19 on, I don't think they're really releasing nearly as much stuff as they did in the first 2 or 3 years. So we'll just have to look at that. And but yeah, I mean, these shows are always fun to do, and definitely may think about doing some other companies down the line too, and see how that goes. I know somebody mentioned Arrow Video. That'd be kind of a cool one. I know that we may not have all those, but it'd still be fun to talk about.
Yeah, and they don't release as much as Screen Factory did either. So, you know, I've definitely got all the big ones from Arrow for sure. But, yeah, I mean, and come to think about it, Vinegar Syndrome is kind of on that same path. Like, dude, like, what do they release, 4 a month? Is that, like, kind of their thing? Like, that's a lot of titles for the year. You know?
Vinegar Syndrome is basically doing what Scream Factory did. I think now, like, and they're going to do the same thing, though. They're going to run out of shit to do.
That's eventually. Like, what is that, like 60 titles for a year? I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, I think that they've already started to slow down a little bit because they're making, what they say, December and June are going to be like partner months where they're not releasing anything new, and they're having like a sale on some of their partner titles or something like that. So they're already starting to slow down a little bit.
I think we should go back and do like Anchor Bay.
Oh, dude, like, I would love to do Anchor Bay.
Just talk about, you know, at some point in time, the stuff they released just to like DVD and stuff. Because that was the first editions of a lot of that stuff I ever bought or watched.
Let me tell you something, though. Like, the Anchor Bay, you could do the entire run of Anchor Bay, actually. I mean, that I don't have all that shit, but maybe together, combined, we might have a lot of it.
Yeah, I think maybe once we're done the whole Screen Factory thing, like we should work on the Anchor Bays, especially like that old one with the little boat, like that little tag logo on it. You know, they've changed it throughout the years and stuff, but like that was the time where, in all those editions with the tins and the big boxes, and you had those sleepaway camp ones and all that stuff. Like I would love to see what you guys have and as well. So I think that would be definitely a cool one to go through. Maybe do it in like instead of doing it year by year, like maybe just do a couple parts, you know, like we each bring a little bit to the table.
Yeah, we can figure it out for sure. Greg, I'm the same way. He says I have a hard time getting rid of my Anchor Bay DVDs.
I don't either, man.
I don't get rid of
still
them.
There.
No, I've still got them back there on the shelf.
I can remember that was the thing that you did back in the day. Was like you go into a video store or like a DVD store and they had like a wall of you just look for that little. You scan and look for that little Anchor Bay thing.
I still do that actually, like at Goodwill and stuff. Yeah.
Like, and there's still some of them out there that are worth a lot because they have not converted over. Like my uncle has one. You guys may have this, but I do not. It's called Times Square, and that's another one that hasn't come out at all. And that was rare then, so I can only imagine what something like that's going for now. And
Midnight Hour is crazy.
Yeah, that's the one Felsher always talks about.
Yeah. It's on YouTube though. I mean, we could still maybe review it and talk about it or something.
Did you guys hear a rumor that you know the partner label Fun City that works with Vinegar Syndrome? They do some good releases, and somebody said they think that's where Kenny and Company's coming from. If anybody's heard that.
Well, that would be fucking hilarious because that guy was like, I had no idea.
Oh, really?
I can,
that's right. You did mention that to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I can flat out tell you that he wouldn't say shit either way if he didn't or did. Yeah.
He's like,
Times Square's coming to Kino. All right, that's good to know. Thanks, Ken.
So, but yeah, I mean, we appreciate everybody sticking around with us. Again, it was a 2-hour plus stream. So we will definitely figure something out and maybe in another month or so do year number 3. How does that sound? How about
Love
that?
it. Love it. Thank
Alright,
you guys
guys.
so much for.
It was a
doing
lovely
this.
time.
It was fun. Yeah, it's always fun to BS with you guys, and I'm glad Uncle Bill could make it, and we'll have to prepare for. There's that fucking cat again. God damn.
It's just that's so great just to wait for it. Scurries by.
I think that mousetrap was from your house, brother.
So, yeah, we appreciate everybody checking us out. Garrett's channel, Born to Be Rad, the number 2 BE Rad. Check it out. Got a lot of good stuff on there. You were on Pizzal's channel the other night as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Check all that out. And, yeah, we've got more stuff to come. I need to make a list and say the, have people have like a script of what they say at the end of videos and shit. I need to get on that.
You mean like
Like,
a pitch?
Comment, subscribe, video response, post.
Fuck.
It's up to me.
Show us your abs like J Real.
You send those pictures, Steve, before he goes to bed every night. Don't you?
Yeah, I'm like,
He's already got him. He's saved on his phone, I'm sure. Oh! Oh, God.
Steve, touch my abs, Steve.
But hey, when we sign off on here, I want to talk to you about something funny.
Okay. Well, we're going to get going, guys, and check us out next time on Born to Be Rad or
.com.
Thanks, guys.
Right here.